This is Adam. I'm here with Chris and Critter from the Punch Brothers. Thank you guys so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
This is a momentous day in that basically at midnight, my Cubbies clinched a playoff spot.
Dude, hey, how about some claps out on the farm?
That's the first. It's the Cubbies' first taste of the postseason since 2008.
We're in.
How about it?
Very happy for you, but let's please stop talking about baseball now.
Oh God, Critter is a Nationals fan.
Oh, you didn't realize you just stepped into a little inside baseball
Yeah,
here?
well, let's the next.
Okay.
All right, he's hitting the next button on the conversation.
Critter's passing on this conversation.
So, this is obviously the first year of the festival, so that also makes it your first time playing. What's your initial vibe just walking on the grounds here?
Well, for one, it's beautiful.
It's awesome. It's a festival that's actually on a farm, a beautiful farm with like old barns and yeah, I feel good. It's very Tennessee.
It's always nice when you show up at a festival and there's more grass than dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I hope that it stays that way, and it seems like it might. Like, I feel like in your first year as a festival, you're good if all the buildings are upright, and everything is. I mean, except for that barn over there, that's coming down a little bit.
Yeah, that is not long for this world, I don't think.
That might actually be all CGI. That's all Lucasfilm stuff. So, fellas, we've been spinning your song.
Still looks fake.
We've been spinning your song Magnet on Lightning 100 quite a bit. And I love it. It makes me think of, so I grew up in North Dakota. My parents and family are farmers, and they have these huge cow magnets. Have you ever seen those? They're like giant, and so the song wasn't based on a cow magnet. Okay.
Oh, you're the first person who actually picked up on that.
But I just enjoyed the sort of push and pull of that. Where did it come from? You weren't messing with magnets, were you?
That was a. I was thinking about both experiences that I've had and experiences that friends of mine have had where for whatever reason there's a person that you might have a fairly instantaneous connection with, like there'll be sparks or something, but that ultimately what draws you together is also what pushes you away. That basically there's just not enough room in this town for the both of us.
No, I totally know what you mean, which is why you guys can't both be Chris. Just magnetically it doesn't work. That's why you're Critter, and you've hung on to Chris.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I just hadn't thought of that, but it's like two positives.
Right.
You know?
Well, and actually eerily though we are both Chris, our parents also both referred to us as Critter.
That's bizarre. Is that
so we
true?
Also, even that isn't completely clear.
Yeah, but we agreed to switch the poles there, and,
Yeah.
and it worked.
Yeah, and now everything's going just perfectly.
Yeah.
You're at a certain comfortable distance away from each other. Not too close, not too far.
The knees are very close right now. Our knees are very close. It's thrilling.
And
thrilling.
that is actually...
we're live on air.
Oh, yeah.
This is
good material. Am I right, Jason? Yeah, I thought this was
hot.
going well.
This is on Punch Brothers.
Here, here.
It's hot right now.
No, it's now that's how you really grow a band. Is you got to get those knees close together. You got to have that level of comfort with each other.
Knees, right.
Speaking of the
These
band,
knees.
we're got real silly real fast, which I love. I was going to ask you about, so I read a little bit about the night the band sort of formed or started, and everybody had just gone through sort of gut-wrenching breakups, and you dealt with it as people do by eating steak.
Oh yes.
And then decided to form a new group?
Steak and wine.
Yeah, that was you and Gabbers.
Gabbers
you
had just
really
got his heart
yeah.
smushed.
Yeah, spend your troubles away.
We had this very reckless plan to basically. I was making a record with Nickel Creek in L.A. and Gabbers was living there at the time. He's living there again now, but we just had this kind of weekly mission to go and see how much money we could spend at a steakhouse, seeing as we had no one to spend it on but ourselves anymore.
So you learned sort of the tricks of the trade, not to save money, but to burn through it.
Yes. And we discussed, Gabbers and I met each other when I was 8. He was 10, I think, or maybe even before that, but maybe 7 and 9. And we'd always talked about doing something together. And when I met Noam, our banjo player, and Critter, it was like, okay, well, it's the four of us. Then Noam introduced me to our old bass player, Greg. And when that didn't work out, we begged our bass player, Paul, on bended knees. It all comes back.
All the knees were bended.
Knees.
Close
Yes,
together.
they were close together and bent. and then we asked Arco if he would be our bass player, and he accepted us.
Yeah, he said yes.
He said yes.
Well, I don't know who's going to be able to turn down that. It sounds romantic, and there's a lot of protein involved.
It was lovely.
This is a win all around, fellas.
It was lovely.
Now, that's super cool. So obviously there are a bunch of cool acts playing today. Do you have any particular ones that you're excited to see coming up today? I know we've got Iron and Wine playing right now.
Yeah, and they sound wonderful. I mean, I've never actually gotten to see Weezer live, so I'm kind of looking forward to maybe sneaking over there and catching some of it. Although I imagine since we're not going to be able to stake our claim on territory at their set, seeing as we'll be playing actually until the minute they start.
Yeah.
We'll probably not get close to the stage.
Yeah, Critter's not going to be there for the last 3 songs.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to tell you that.
Oh.
He told me off air. And he figured you guys are very good at music and you could cover him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this point, he's played on such a high percentage of our material. I think it's okay if you want to,
Yeah.
The difference is going to be negligible between having played all of it and,
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
We'll be there for 90%.
Oh, this is good. I was going to ask you, this is a serious question, a very silly interview. Do you feel like musicians take breakups harder than everyone else?
No.
Okay.
No, but I think that we're sort of
People get to hear about it a
yeah,
lot
people
more.
get to
Shut up about
people
it.
are yeah, musicians are very shameless about just expressing things that are going on to them, and we're also amongst the world's worst at feeling like whatever's happening to us is happening more to us than the exact same thing can happen to other people. No, my pain is bigger than your pain.
Hey, no, that was what I wanted. A very serious answer, and I think I got it.
My pain is bigger than your pain. No, I mean I do think that it's actually very tempting as a musician to use the strong feelings that beset one in a well-lived life as fuel for the creative fire. I think you have to make sure that you end up not just telling your story to people, but rather try and help people tell their own stories to each other. And the greatest music, or the music that I feel is the greatest, has helped me kind of deal with my own life. That some like a lyric that allows for you to tell your own story through it. Someone like Tom York, for instance, or Dylan, where it's you might think you know what that song is about, and then actually see a lyric sheet and go like, huh. I don't, but then you just go back to listening to it, and you do get to tell your own story. They leave the door open for you, and I feel like the best lyrics do that, and honestly the best instrumental music as well. And a reason that instrumental music shouldn't be swept under the rug is the possibility for abstract expression, not just for the artist writing it, but for whoever hears it. That is wide open for you to decide what it's about.
I love that. It's a beautiful statement. Critter, do you have anything even more in-depth to say than that? Because that's going to be tough to top.
No.
No, I really love that, where the music, once it's out there, it doesn't just belong to you. It belongs to everyone who's experiencing
Decidedly doesn't and shouldn't
Right.
belong to the people. I'm just so happy to actually be able to try and make something for someone else. I mean, I think that for me, being alive, one of the most consistent sources of happiness is to enjoy things that people have made for other people. And, whether it's music or coffee, a good cocktail, a fine steak, things like that, things that people have made for other people. I really feel like that is, that's the beating heart. That's where I want to be. It's hard to know what all of this means, but there's some meaning in there. The things that we make for each other.
I love it. It's cool to catch some sort of thoughtful answers here in this goofy Lightning 100 backstage area. We really appreciate you guys coming in. Your record right now is called Phosphorescent Blues, and we've been playing the song Magnet quite a bit and have loved it. I took a listen through it the other day, and it's fun because it seems to have big melodic elements, but then it seems like there are also very much like intricate bluegrass sort of parts as well. Was that a conscious decision, or is this just what comes out of you, Critter?
I think it's kind of just a product of you start working on an idea and you try and follow it through to whatever it wants to be. It's like a child. It's like, well, he's gonna grow up and be what he wants to be. So let's just usher him along his way and help him get there. And I don't know. I think that this, over the course of our career, we've been trying to get better at music that's more direct, because I think we realized that we really enjoy listening to music like that. But at the same time, we are, we love the kind of rich, crazy, get your head in and, open up your mind kind of stuff.
Right. There's a time for James Joyce, and there's a time for Ernest Hemingway.
Exactly. Yeah, and we just tried to have a nice balance of those things. Really, when we were sequencing the record, there's plenty more that we cut that didn't get on there.
True.
Oh, really? Okay. Does that hurt a little bit when you have to cut something?
Yes.
You feel it?
Yes. But then it's always also, I think, I mean, much like in a breakup, sometimes, it can be a very tearful experience, and then all of a sudden you can come out the other end kind of like,
and you never know. You can sometimes after a tough breakup, you can go back and revisit that later down the road. Just as we are going to be releasing an EP.
Whoa! Way to bring it back around,
man.
I don't know
That is
when,
solid.
but soon of some of those songs.
That was unnervingly professional, Critter.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know if you guys noticed, he has one of those clear teleprompters over here like the president has.
right.
And so none of this is off the
Mention
cuff.
the EP. Let's talk about the proximity of your knees, gentlemen.
Oh, man, that's what the people want to hear. We do surveys of our listenership. That's all they care about. Seriously, though, guys, Chris and Critter, thank you so much for being here. I know you have to go get ready to play your show. You're playing on the Hard Rock Harpeth River stage here at 4:15. I don't know if anybody else has told you this, but you are, and you need to get there.
Oh,
I've had such a blast talking with you, fellas.
Hey, thank you so
likewise.
much.
Thanks for having us.
That was really
man.
fun.
Yeah, it's been super fun, and I'm going to try to sneak over and catch some of your set. And, super pleasure. Anytime, you guys are welcome over at our goofy little area back here.
Perfect. Well,
All right, Phil, I'm going to throw it back to Jason over in this tent. Jason, what do you got to say for
Go
yourself?
Cubs, Jason!
Go Cubbies!